I'll rip your heart out just by reaching down your throat, just so I can watch you try your best to breathe without a pulse. Can't you see that I'm the GOAT? Y'all ain't even coming close. Macaulay Culkin in the loony bin, don't leave me home alone. I'm just seated on my throne and these fucking rappers are peasants. I'm coming after they heads with a rusty dagger. Come get it if someone asks for a medic, I'll fucking stab them to death. Suffering, sucking tash, I'm Sylvester, I'm running after you pheasants. Shout out the Sea-Lance, we're like Eminem and Dre, and all these rappers are just roaches, someone better get the braid. I'm the shit, like some excrement that's left for several days. That's why the SWAT team's waiting when I exit off the stage. A combination of lyricism and skill, so when you hear to steal a car and then steer the whip off a hill.
Alright, my beautiful blaster people, it's Beretta time. So anyone that knows me knows that I really love M9s. I don't know how, but these things seem to have flown in totally under the radar because I haven't even really been asked about them. I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you are a fan of M9s, go and buy one of these devices. I have replaced a single piece in this gun, and it is to a standard that even my snobby ass is happy with. Now, I know a few of you guys were let down with the Newell, Nwell, well, whatever you want to call it. There is a reason that it was poo. It is a KSC platform. KSC are trash. They're a use it a couple of times and throw it away gun. They're a use it for a game or so and bin it if it even makes it through a game. I'll typically myself turn away KSC platform jobs. So Double Bell to the rescue. This is the first decent full TM spec M9 to hit Australia. I honestly am blown away at the quality of this device. So let's rip it apart. Alright, you're not needed anymore. So, first things first. Just everything about this thing. So, first things first is Chrono test. Jelly boys. And we need a gun. Oh. Okay, that one was a little bit high. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just like settled in. Yeah, right, okay. So, well, when I first tested it, it was doing... Is that going to focus? You're just not going to focus, are you? There you go. When I first tested it, it was doing like 390, 385, 390. So I think that's just because the gaskets have all settled. And I'm honestly, yeah, that's a little bit... I'm not even that impressed. Purely because I was so blown away with the 390 out of the box. That, for me to get those results with a high kappa, normally requires a couple of other little bits. With this, it required one piece, a barrel swap. Every single thing in this gun is completely stock except the barrel. And obviously it's had a tune, everything's sort of seated a little bit better now. So let's, I don't need to... Man, I love Berettas. So what has Danny tune and not tune in this device? Basically getting a good seal with our nozzle and gasket was all that we need for that result. And a decent barrel, of course. So let's, there we go, and I just lost him again, so it's the second time. This little guy, when you pull him apart, this little spring, sort of not really needed per se, but does sort of help mitigate a little bit of force. Look, Double Bell do some random weird shit. Some of their stuff is kind of poo, but just trust them with random little stuff. So we're gonna make sure we don't lose him like I have already done. And I normally swap out for a, depending what I'm doing, weaker recoil spring. So I haven't even done that. That's completely stock. Just because I like that harder recoil, but on lower pressure gas. So off the bat, first thing you will notice when you pull this device apart, solid TM frame, TM spec hop chamber, well, gel spec, TM spec, and TM spec nozzle and BBU setup. That's stock. Absolutely beautiful system. So, where do we start? I don't even remember. They can go there. First, we're going to pull apart our slide. Just in case. The only not crazy good quality part of this device is the slide, and it's still better than most of Double Bell's other devices. I'm just gonna flick out. So our little safety has to come out first. He's gonna angle out once our BBU comes out. Okay, so this little dude's a little bit tricky, and you don't really want to bend this frame in trying to get him out, so he will actually slide out backwards. Woo! Now springs. Total stock, absolutely awesome BBU springs, nozzle springs. So now that we've got that off, that was actually supposed to be our first step. So now he's off, our safety bar can angle out. It's not very difficult. Normally fiddly diddly stuff like that gets me. That one's really easy. I love M9s. Have I said that enough? I have been waiting so long for a decent. Also, make sure you do not lose this little plunger detent guy. Thumb over that as we pull him out. So isn't that beautiful? Oh, an actual TM spec nozzle and BBU setup. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. Fuck you, Wells. Piece of shit. So, the only subpar quality part of our full TM spec M9 is the slide. It's slightly lower quality than the frame itself, but it's still really, really nice alloy. I honestly can't complain about it. I want to, but I really, really can't. It is, yeah, and it's really, really light as well. So you do get a very, very snappy recoil with that. So that's our slide disassembled. Also, while we've got him apart, naturally. You know what? No. Yeah. All right. Anytime our device comes apart, stretch that O-ring. Or if we are using a cup style, I have a magical method of stretching them out, where I soak them in silicone for a few days. Can't really stretch them out and heat them up too much. Yep, get those fumes. Okay. So I'm gonna show you our hop chamber first. This is I'm in love. Oh, yeah. So normally, I think on the WeTech you've got 2 pins holding it in. On this little guy, we've just got them a little bit more. There we go. Everything's so oily because I look. So this video may have taken a little bit longer than it should have because when Command Elite, when Giles from CH messaged me and was like, "Hey man, do you want one of these things to do a vid with?" I was already balls deep, and please don't judge me. But if you do want to see a separate video, not my normal content, I may have made a lightsaber. I was already sort of balls deep in that, polishing that, and then they threw this thing at me and I was like, no, I have to. Honestly, it's up. This is the first stock cheapy gun I have seen that is worthy of the polish, is worthy of the full polish. Even more so than the G1911. I did forget about him. So, yeah, this is even more so worthy than that little guy. And look at that, my friends. Our first decent TM spec M9 gel chamber. Oh. Which I may have also given a little bit of a polish. So, that's our... I just wanted to show that off. That is, this is my favorite part of the device. So let's pull our frame apart. Got lots of stuff everywhere. You do get a, look, there's a few more bits with an M9, but I love them so much. Alright. So this is basically, for $330, a full functioning gun for maybe $50 more than you would pay for the Garter frame. For just the Garter slide setup, which the slide is 100% so much nicer. But there, in my opinion, is not much difference between this frame and the Garter one. So that's up to you, I guess. So there is a couple very, very, very fractionally minor things that make this where they've like cheaped out, but it's actually sort of a good thing. So for instance, normally our slide lock will have a little hole in here for the spring to sit in. It does not. They just give you a side twisted spring instead that sits in there. It works just as well. You can chill. Oh, baby. There's just something so satisfying about stripping an M9 down. Fuck your 1911s. I don't know if this is this a boomer gun yet? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a boomer gun. Also, and there goes our trigger spring. Luckily, I have spares because that thing is gone. Okay, I'll have to address that. Get on, my little guy. you're gonna come out. So, yeah, always be very mindful pulling this off, because that trigger bar spring that holds, there's a little spring that sits here, which just flicked off, keeps tension on him constantly to keep it up. So if you don't have that spring on, I can actually show you right now what happens. Nothing. It can't actually catch the hammer sear unless it's sitting. It has upwards pressure. So that's actually a good little lesson to learn on camera. Glad that I can learn that one for you. I'm a professional, trust me. So our frame. What I also like about our M9s, is even though they have this entire pile of little internal pieces as opposed to a high capper, I can just slide my frame out, which you're about to see when we knock this pin out, and that's it. There is one downside to this though, which I didn't even realize because I'd never gone this level of cray and polished one fully to this extent. There's no way to get the frame in without slightly scratching your trigger on the frame. It's really annoying. It's going to cop a little bit either way. So you can get a little bit of resistance taking them out if your copper sleeves and the actual hammer aren't sitting nice. So don't reef, just sit there and wedge and make sure that they're lined up. Now, this one I'm not going to forget. There is a little spring that sits on a sleeve over our hammer inside. Yeah, so every time I do that, I'm scratching up this beautiful polished trigger. Now, so that is our hammer frame assembly. Now we have a blank, really nice alloy slide lower. I honestly don't know what else I can say to up the quality of this device. They're absolutely amazing. There is literally nothing I can not like about it. Out of the box with a barrel change, you have got yourself a fucking hand cannon. I don't know if that's PC to say. So, let's pull our hammer frame assembly apart. So there is, you've got your standard double bell quality hammer bits, but the way the M9 hammer system works, you're not gonna have any issues with these stock hammer bits. There's just no stress put on them like at all. Come on, little guy. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Oh, you're a toy. I don't know if I Loctited these guys. And one advantage there actually, which I didn't even notice while I was holding the lower, is we get to leave our hammer spring frame inside the actual lower. Don't have to pull him out. So we're gonna not be dickheads like we were with the trigger bar spring. We're going to nicely. And that is ready to pull apart. So this little guy, I'm gonna make sure stays down so everything doesn't flick out with the frame. Our trigger may? Nope, he's gonna be good. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think I Loctited that. Okay, so this little guy has to sit with the spring detent that we just saw him when it was assembled sticking out of the top there. He always has to sit upright, so don't mix that up. Our actual hammer seal sits on like so, if you can see that. This little guy can be annoying to sit in because the tension from the spring can push your little copper sleeve out. This little guy, this little fucker, don't do what Danny Don't does and be good. So on my very, very, very first TM M9, I had no end of drama because this was round the wrong way. So you will notice there is a curved part. That curved part goes down. The bit with the notch sits facing us as we assemble it. The little hole in the middle just catches the spring for the hammer that it sits on, which I'm going to try and show you. So if he's not going to fall, the curved part of the spring sits downward, and the little sticky uppy bit is the bit that we want to catch on our hammer with our curved bit down. Hang on. Let's see if I can zoom. Enhance. Enhance. See that little fucking part? There you go. Enhance. So our little pokey uppy bit sits in there, so twist it around, and that'll catch in. And now that has tension on it, and we'll go back with our hammer and reset. Also, oh no, don't flick out, you piece of poo. One other little thing I did, just because, is the hammer hole is solid when you get them. I drilled through that because obviously, because on a full Tokyo Marui, your hammer has the hole in it. Yeah, you're gonna be a dick now, aren't you? Yep. So let's put this thing back together. I do not have to grease it because everything is already very, very greasy. And you've already watched me grease enough guns up. Like some sort of weird BDSM gun thing, fetish. Okay, you sit in. I didn't even see that one. Okay, so we do have a sear. Our hammer sear is locked. This little guy is going to be annoying just because I talked shit about him. That should lock it in for us. So it's easy enough. Yeah, this is what I love about the M9 platform. Everything is so nice and simple. Okay, so what do we want to know about it before we put it back together? I can't think of anything right now, so if you've watched it this far, yeah, drop a comment, tell me what you actually want to see, because I've done all I can think of, so I'm going to put it back together at this point. Let's move him. Okay, and we're back. I got my springy boy. So, our hammer is sitting in nicely. Make sure he's all good. And I think we're ready to reassemble. Okay. Just wanted to make sure we had him before we start putting it back together. That's just a stock TM1. I will try and find our other one. There we go. So, now that that looks like it's together, what are we gonna do? We're gonna test if our valve knocker actually works with our hammer. Yeah. Good man. Good man. Okay. Hold you up for a sec, you little poopy. Nah, you're cool. Alright, so we've got some thick boys. And some thin boys. No, wrong hole. I can actually make a complaint here. These screws are just ridiculously small headed, and you've got like way more space in there. Just give me like a slightly bigger head so I can use like one bit on all of them. Make sure it's not too tight before we tighten everything up fully. Now thick boy. Hey, don't do that. Alright, so there is one weakness to this beautiful, beautiful design. And it's the same in even your really, really nice garter frame. It's that screw. This boy. This one. Yeah. He, she. I'm genderizing the screw. This little fucking piece of shit sort of holds our frame in when it's in here, but if you do it up too tight, it will bow how everything sits and shit just doesn't work properly. That is a just straight up fucking M9 problem. And guess what? I still fucking love them. Okay, you gonna be a good boy? Yep. Alright, that's ready to go back into our lower. So the reason I am so finicky about making sure he's upright is when that's screwed in. So it's not like, yeah. I am lazy, leave me alone. The M9 platform facilitates my laziness. So we want to make sure that our trigger bar is in there. Don't like it. Make sure he doesn't flick off. And you can see that little copper sleeve is stopping me from. There we go. That's gonna sit in there. Nice. Okie dokie. So that's cool. Yeah, we might as well put this guy back in. So little recess for that spring to sit into. Drop this guy in. I love that. That's probably going to be my favorite part of the M9, or most nostalgic bit. Alright, now this bastard. Which, yeah. Too tight. And you will actually get issues with your hammer function. You'll just have, because it's skewed in there, you'll have too much friction in there, which again, that's like another kappa problem, so they have it for a different reason, but it's just something to watch out for on your beautiful, beautiful full TM spec M9. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Okay. What next? I think we should do our slide first, before we put the rest of that back together. So he can chill up here for a sec. Very much make sure that that lug is not sticking out either side, because that will scratch up your frame. This guy does move a little bit in cycle, so I always like to sort of try and, it's a short lug, so you can recess it inside a little bit. There we go. If you can see that, I can't. Boop. You can get a little bit of a recess there. So it's definitely not going to be sticking out. Okay. Boom. Make sure you're all good. Oh, that's gonna be nice. Oh yeah. And we are ready to reassemble. We got this, homies. Okay. Whoop. We just lost our detent. I don't even, so if that's what you're supposed to call them, it sounds fucking retarded, and they're a plunger, pusher, whatever. So this guy is just gonna hold our kitty in for us. You wanna sit in the straight? There we go. Oh, you little shit. I'd very much like to do that. Okay. We can put our safety in, wedge him in. So I think I want to do that zoomed up for you, if you can see, because that is one of the annoying things. Enhance. So all we're going to do is, it has to be on safety for it to latch onto it. All we're going to do is latch this little guy onto that by angling him in. And it'll only fit in angled like that. So yeah, it'll only go in like that, and then now it's toy, and you can flick it over to not safe, shooting mode, and it's held in nicely. Now we can put our frame on. So this is what I like about our M9s. No fucking around with nozzle springs. So anytime you pull an M9 apart, a TM M9, a beautiful, lovely TM M9, just bend these frames out a little bit. Out that way, just so it's snug. So he's gonna slide in. Like so. And now our safety can't fall out. And that should be nice and tight. Also, one thing you do want to do is, not with your nozzle and shit in there, of course, take your bits out and make sure that that is perfectly flush. If you've got jaggy bits from a screw sitting on that, it's gonna slide on your beautiful rails and frame, and just cause yuckiness over time. So, nozzle springs, Danny's, one of Danny's favorite. Look, everything about the M9 is my favorite bit. I just fucking love these things. Oh, matey. There we go. So, our nozzle's in there. Oh, no springs. So we slide him in. Oh no, don't do that. We slide him in. I'm going to zoom up on that for you. Boom. And we latch him onto our little arm. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So that's one. Number two. Maybe you can still see him. Oh, he went for a little adventure. Slide him in. And latch him onto the arm. Boom, two. And they are not going to wear out anytime soon. They are very, very, very strong. Strong enough that they will cause air loss. They will not let your nozzle sit in properly if you don't have a perfect fit. They're fucking awesome. Come here, you. Okay. Now I think we want this side. A little pooper. Okay. I'm gonna slide a frame, a rando magazine, which I also had to polish. I couldn't help myself. Okay. If that'll stop wobbling. So we should be ready to reassemble now. So the guy's gonna be a douchebag. Sitting. There we go. Make sure that's nice and tight. And there we go. Oh. Always remember our little springy guy. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Okay. Now we can put this guy back in. Look, I will find that stock double bell one at some point. But you're getting a TM1 now. It's your own fault. It's my fault. Look how bad that wants to flick out right now. It's to flick out so bad. Okay. I actually wanted to show you guys something. I totally forgot. So I'm just going to put this here for... No, hang on. Come on. Out you come. Please don't flick off. I had... This was very important, actually. This was super important. So just for mock-up purposes... Because there are a few of you guys complaining. Oh, it's a Taurus. Yeah, you'll notice that I have... That's gone. That's polished. That's gone. Oh, it's a, How beautiful that is. So a few guys complaining, oh, it's not a PT92 because the PT92 has the safety down here. So I just want you to jump on Google quickly and have a look for a decent PT92 airsoft gun, because there is none. All of you little whingy boys who were rightfully whinging about the Wells M9, you want a Wells PT92, you want a KSC PT92, because the only one is the KJW, which is a KSC platform. So good luck with that. So I wanted to show you guys something. Yep. So it is not a Beretta M9A1. It is actually sort of like a mix between a Beretta M9A3 and a 92G SD. I just wanted to show you guys that. Oh, what? Does that look a little bit different now? You guys will fucking whinge about anything, and you'll completely overlook. I'm not even a Resident Evil fan. I don't even like Resident Evil. Oh, look, yeah, Mila Jovovich. The Mila Jovovich ones are fucking awesome. But other than that, wasn't really into the video games. So, should go have a look at the Styles Beretta. Just wanted to show you guys that. Okay, now we can continue with our assembly. He's gonna be cool. Whoa! You're gonna be cool? Oh, wrong ones. So all we've got to do for that poke our spring in, and we're good to go. Hey you. Oh cool. There we go. Yeah, boy. And that is one disassembled, reassembled, Double Bell PT92, but it's actually M9A3/92 GSD. Peace, guys.
Gun under my pillow like a fucking baby tooth. Let a robber inside just so I could legally shoot. Writing while intoxicated like that letter stand wrote. So anytime they ask me if I give a damn, no. Making fun of trans folks as if it's not the year 2021 when nobody can take a damn joke. Playing Russian roulette with a sawed-off. Sea-lance on the beat, so I had to bring the raw thoughts. Dropping so much shit you think we chillin' at the dog park. Stepping to